China's largest submarine suddenly surfaced among Vietnamese fishing boats in the South China Sea. According to international submarine warfare analyst H.I. Sutton, the Chinese Type 094 Jin Class submarine suddenly emerged from the deep among a fishing fleet operating off the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea. As per reports, the photo was taken by a Vietnamese fisherman in September 2019. Prima-facie, it will look like China is trying to intimidate Vietnam with this act, but there's more to this story. Nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines such as the Jin Class is primarily intended to remain undetected, to stay underwater for long periods of time, and act as a second strike option against a surprise attack by an enemy nation. Surfacing means giving up its location, and this is highly unlikely that it was done purposely. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes the surfacing of Chinese Type 094 Jin Class submarine. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account. China claims most of the South China Sea. It's said that it has indisputable sovereignty over the area. Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan have disputed these claims. The route's significant, as about $5 trillion in trade through shipping passes each year. Countries like the US, Japan, and India have no claims in the area and want freedom of navigation as per international maritime laws. China has tried imposing a unilateral decision as per which all ships and aircraft navigating in the area need to identify themselves to the Chinese Navy. Viewers may note that the Philippines approached International Tribunal for arbitration and argued that Chinese activity in the region was violating international law. On July 12, 2016, judges at Hague Tribunal completely rejected China's claim over the waters and stated that China's claim that it enjoyed historical rights over the South China Sea is incorrect. China had argued that the tribunal had no jurisdiction in the matter and rejected the decision. Chinese activities in the region have been getting more and more aggressive. China has tried to change the territorial status quo gradually, island by island, instead of trying to capture in one go. For example, China first occupied the Paracel Islands in 1974 and then slowly expanded its presence southward by attacking Vietnam's islands in the Spratly Chain in the 1980s. This strategy, known as salami slicing, aims for the slow accumulation of small changes. China's been using strong-arm tactics to threaten its smaller neighbors time and again, which includes patrols by warships and aircraft close to their borders. Ballistic missile submarines are generally nuclear-powered and carry long-range nuclear-tipped missiles, also known as SLBM, or submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Nuclear strikes can be carried out from land, air, and sea, and this is known as the nuclear triad. Nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines are considered to be the most potent weapon developed by mankind, and they're the most survivable part of the nuclear triad. There are good reasons for it. A surprise preemptive strike might wipe out a country's land-based missiles and nuclear bombers, but it's very difficult to track and take out a ballistic missile submarine patrolling quietly in the depths of the ocean. Since they can't be taken out by first strike and can retaliate against an enemy with SLBMs, no sane adversary will attack a country that possesses a nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine armed with SLBMs. The importance of these can be gauged from the fact that the 14 ballistic missile submarines of the American Ohio class together carry approximately 50% of the total U.S. active inventory of strategic thermonuclear warheads. Nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines are very complex and costly to develop. This is why the US, Russia, UK, France, China, and India are currently the only countries to field a nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine. Since the main purpose of these submarines is nuclear deterrence, their location is one of the most closely guarded secrets of a nation. The exact location of these submarines at any given point in time is known only to a handful of people. Type 094 Jin Class is the latest and most potent ballistic missile submarine in the Chinese arsenal. Type 094 succeeds the Type 092 submarine. As per reports, China plans to build 8 of these subs, and 6 have been completed. The remaining 2 are expected to be completed by 2020. Type 094 now forms the backbone of Chinese nuclear deterrence. They have a length of 135 meters and displace around 11,000 tons. For comparison, the American Ohio class has a length of 170 meters and displaces 18,750 tons, whereas Russian Borai class has a length of 170 meters and displaces 24,000 tons. Type 094 is armed with 12 JL-2 SLBMs. The JL-2 is a naval variant of the land-based DF-31. The missile was successfully fired from a Type 094 submarine for the first time in 2009. JL-2, which is powered by a solid fuel rocket, has an estimated range of 7,400 kilometers, that's 4,600 miles, and each missile carries 1 nuclear warhead. The warhead is thought to be of 1 megaton. To give viewers a perspective, here's a comparison. Trinity test in New Mexico in July 1945, which ushered in the nuclear age, had a yield of 20 kilotons. Hiroshima's Little Boy bomb had a yield of 13 to 18 kilotons, whereas Nagasaki's Fat Man bomb had a yield of 20 to 22 kilotons of TNT. Type 094 deterrence patrols with JL-2 missiles began in December 2015. A deterrent patrol is one where a ballistic missile sub with a full complement of nuclear-tipped missiles sails towards its intended area of deployment and is ready for a strike at a moment's notice. In case of an attack by a nuclear-armed adversary, the sub can be ordered to launch the missiles, which is done by sending a coded message by the High Command. As of 2017, 48 JL-2 launchers are deployed on Type 094 submarines. The submarine surfaced more than 300 kilometers, around 185 miles, from its home base at Sanya on the Chinese island of Hainan. China has many ways to bully its much smaller neighbors, and there's no reason to sacrifice the location of its most potent asset for this. Speculations indicate that something went wrong, and the vessel was forced to surface unwillingly. As per submarine warfare analyst Mr. Sutton, possibly the submarine had become entangled in a fishing net or feared that it would be. Surfacing may have saved the lives of the fishermen or the submariners. Chinese, like Russian, never disclose anything which shows weakness or failure. In August, an official state of mourning was declared in the Russian city of Sarov after 5 elite Russian scientists were killed in an accident. The radiation level in the city spiked after the incident, though as per Russian sources, it was not hazardous for health. Russia till now didn't come clean on the incident, same way it's unlikely that China will provide details, but it's highly likely that Type 094 Jin Class had some sort of issue.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.